Yesterday morning, I put the feelers out regarding the aftermath, Simon, of all those moments of controversy at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the match between Tottenham and Brighton, a match that Tottenham eventually won by 2-1. It all started with a message that came my way. The Brighton were really furious about the decisions. The fans were furious. The neutrals totally bemused. Something's got to happen. And then in the course of the day, it became a big talking point, both on social media, on Sky, right here on talkSPORT. And I think I'm going to be biased here. I thought everybody here at talkSPORT pulled their weight yesterday, and there was a huge amount of objectivity that I didn't see elsewhere regards the aftermath of this match, notably on Match of the Day on Saturday night when Gary Lineker tells us a slightly fortuitous win for Tottenham. Yeah. Talk about an understatement. So what went on? The 17th minute, Spurs leading 1-0. Mitoma's goal ruled out for handball, but replays show it might have hit his chest. 55 minutes, VAR rules out McAllister's goal for handball after he deflects it in. It was a Welbeck shot, but it seemed to go in off his hip. 72 minutes, Mitoma goes down under Højbjerg's challenge. No penalty given. PGMOL have now apparently apologised to Brighton for that one. 86 minute, Clement Longley pulls back Lewis Dunk via his shirt using two hands in the attacking penalty area. Why no penalty kick? There were fireworks on the sidelines as well, but post-match, Roberto De Zerbi, well, he reined it in a bit on those decisions.
There were a lot of situations not so clear, maybe very clear. But I don't want to speak about the referee decision. I didn't say nothing from my bench to the referee. I didn't put any pressure, and I don't like when I see the other bench to put too much pressure.
So that was De Zerbi. Simon, with regards to the conversations that took place yesterday, and no doubt taking place today, between Brighton and the PGMOL, apologies that I understand. Conversations very long, very robust. Apologies forthcoming from the PGMOL. Is that enough? Is it adequate now?
What else can you do? I mean, of the four decisions, I think two are nailed on penalties. Two, I can see the nature of the reasons why the decisions went against Brighton. So whilst it looks like a cumulative effect of unfair decisions, I can make a case for the first two having justification behind the reasons why the referee, both at Stockley Park or on the pitch, may have disallowed those opportunities. I can't make a case for either one of them for the penalties not to be given. So then you've got to look at the reasons why human error has occurred, why these judgments have been so flawed, and what else can they do besides suggest that they was wrong, have the courage of their convictions to come out and publicly say that they were wrong. And is
that progress?
And perhaps, well, progress starts with acknowledgement, doesn't it? If you don't acknowledge something, then you're not on the road to progress. If you feel that you need to have progress, we must also remember scant consolation for teams that are affected by it. I remember years ago at Palace when we scored a goal against Bristol City, the ball hit the back of the net, came out from the stanchion so quickly, the advertising boarding behind, that the referee gave a goal kick.
Right.
And it was outrageous. And we never got any acknowledgements. We never got any response from the FA. We never got any response from the EFL. We never got any response from the refereeing authorities. So with that in mind, if you've now got into the territory where you've got a much more, want of a better expression, consumer-facing refereeing establishment that's prepared to acknowledge its mistakes, you're not on the road to perdition, but you're on the road to a situation where you've got an opportunity to start the progress because the communication channel's opening. Now, of course, behind that, if you're given reasons, there must be reasons for these decisions not being made. And I wonder if the clubs are being given these reasons by the PGMOL rather than just an apology, which has its merit, doesn't get any points back and doesn't satisfy people that want to have apologies written in blood in this day and age, but will actually start the process of internal recriminations. Because if Howard Webb has to go out and apologise on behalf of the PGMOL, he's apologising on behalf of people that are working for him that are making his job difficult.
Right.
So those guys will have the consequences from the person that's running the organisation that, in terms of the place and space that they operate in.
Sure. We look upon Brighton as a very honest, upbeat club. Extremely well run. And we're going for it on Saturday going for it at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Stuart, because the chance of Europe was on. Brighton have been the worst affected club in the Premier League this season, with only 2 VAR overturns in their favour and 8 against. So they feel aggrieved, and they're quite right to feel aggrieved. But simply, there's the apology. Oh, did we get the apology? Yeah. Oh, we better move on then.
Yeah, I think a couple of things here. I think when people were voting for VAR and there was a groundswell towards it at the time, people didn't sit back and think that there's grey areas in football, by the way. This game at the weekend for Brighton, they weren't grey areas. The two of them, totally, you could look and say balance could go either way. The other two, you can't see a case for it in any way, shape or form, how that's not been picked up. I've never known one team in all the games I've managed or watched have 4 incidents in a game that have gone against them, that they would deem against them, which is incredible. I still think there's a case for a manager, coach or player to be at Stockley Park. I really do. I think that's going to be helpful to the officials.
Yeah. Have Brighton's dreams of Europe gone?
Well, no is the answer to your question, because I think they're playing too well. Listen, they were a better team against Tottenham from what I can see. They forced these issues that have put the officials under problem because of their good play. Yeah. So no way are they out of a European contention, and you shouldn't. They've just got to move on from it. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Just move on from it, because if they keep doing what they're doing, they'll be in a European place.
And they're not a club, I don't think, for a moment that will feel sorry for themselves, sure. But I think actually for 4 incidents, make it 5. I think there were as many as 5 there that were extremely questionable.
Yep.
What I can't understand is Atwell had the best view of the lot of the Matoma Højbjerg incident and get it. No.
Yeah, but are we in a situation where he feels under pressure as an official? Back to the original thing that we've been talking about, the previous incident at Anfield, that he's backed himself into a corner, and officials have, because they're not getting support. So he thinks, why should I make a decision on the pitch? VAR will pick it up in the cold light of day elsewhere. Who knows?
But VAR don't. I mean, the question is, often you see it evened up, don't you? When you see decisions go against a side during a game, it almost feels like this duty-bound obligation for somewhere along the game, the referee to even it up by going, well, that's a 50-50, but I'm going to go in a favour.
Yes.
But in this instance, they've just got 4 straight out of the gates.
Yeah.
All 4 will have had VAR involvement in some way or another looking at it.
Yeah, sure.
All 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's beyond comprehension.
Well, Brighton will take themselves and their grievances to Stamford Bridge, because next up for them is Chelsea come Saturday, and Chelsea got their own problems. Of that, there is no doubt. Happy Lim.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.